Welcome to Audio Products Podcast. We are meeting with pro audio industry veterans, founders, product managers, UX designers, to learn how they build and manage the products we all love. You will get tips how to navigate your career in audio and how to develop a successful audio product. From musical instruments through audio plugins and gaming middleware up to music distribution platforms or consumer electronics like headphones, mics, and even automotive speaker systems. Enjoy. Hey, Tomek. Good evening.
Hi, how are you? Hi, Wojtek.
I'm actually pretty good and happy that we actually have chance to meet again in the podcast. It was you were the first guest back I think year and a half ago, and so
quite a long time ago.
Yeah, the time flies pretty quickly, isn't it? You see, so I was actually super happy also that we had a chance to record the podcast because you recently received AES award, like a fellowship. So I wanted to congratulate you and actually also a gift prize, for your achievements. It's actually pretty outstanding.
Thank you so much for this. Yes, so for me this is a super great recognition, and yes, as you know, because we talked about this earlier, that for me this is also some moment in my life, in career, probably professional career, where maybe I close some some stage in my life, in my professional career, in terms of audio. I don't know, maybe there is a start, there is a chance to start something new. And yes, and also about the fellowship award, Audio Engineering Fellowship Award. So it's an award that is given to people that have some special contribution to audio in general, many different fields. So in my case, it's about 3D audio, ambisonics, because as you know, I developed the Zilia microphones. So actually, this is also the mic that I'm using right now. So pretty strange podcast microphone. And yes, I'm also the author of something which is called volumetric audio. So this is a part of the package, Epic 3D audio right now. Yeah, so that's. So for me, so this is a pretty big recognition and huge moment in my life.
Yep. I mean, honestly, just right now, I can say I have a mentor and a friend who's a fellow. I used to make jokes, right? That from now on, I'll be telling you, sir, on our daily Slack conversations. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
That's really congratulations, Tomek. And
at the AES, if you receive this fellowship award, then you and the next conference you will get a special badge, which is with some additional, bell and whistles and so on. So it's so everybody see from distance that you get this recognition. So it's pretty nice and pretty funny, actually. So this
you remember this? Sorry. You remember this comedy? It was the comedy a Spies Like Us with Chevy Chase, and we're doctor.
How many doctors is on this planet?
Exactly, only doctors and fellows. Great. So I don't want to say excited and one more time, but actually pretty stoked about this conversation, because a lot of stuff about AI actually I learned from you, and we talk daily actually about AI at work, and obviously there is a lot of this very contradictory opinions about some people are great enthusiasts and some other actually great critics, and with the hype it's actually very hard to go deeper into the subject and actually talk really about the use cases and a value it brings, and so I hope that we'll be able today unpack the subject on how this can help people to build and manage products. Yeah. So maybe we can start by actually, asking this controversial question: if AI will take PM's work, right? So product managers, they obviously have this you'll actually go deeper probably, right? What kind of tasks and what kind of responsibilities, like strategy and discovery and product delivery. So do you think it's will this, what will happen to product managers' work with AI?
Yeah. So we talk about this. So I think that this is not only a question about the product managers. Everybody is right now excited and scared at the same time. So is the AI like a good or bad thing? I'm huge enthusiast of artificial intelligence, and in my opinion, AI will not take jobs from current product managers, but the present product managers will have to change the tools that they use daily. And so, for example, right now, if you're the product manager, then probably you are working on like one product or maybe portfolio of products, but those products cover like pretty huge market. So especially if you are VC, venture capital backed, then I assume that the market for each of that kind of products is around $1 billion US. But with AI, we are able to go down to the niches and and also cover markets that right now nobody cares about, because it's much easier to get the customer discovery and so on. Yeah. So
okay, so that will this mean? Sorry to interrupt. Will this mean that we'll actually see like a new wave of entrepreneurship? So like a new companies like rising all around. I mean, I heard people like, for example, Marty Kagan saying that we actually may experience like a lot of like a new wave of startups. I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that the one thing is that right now, creating a company is much cheaper than it was before. But the second thing, many people think that maybe because of the how easy it is to use AI, maybe we are entered the red market when everybody will compete with very similar competences. But I don't think that this is true, because actually I believe that we are entering like a blue ocean, that of many different possibilities, because we are able to narrow down the customer discovery. So not only people that use VST plugins in general, or maybe like bedding producers, but we can target like specific age, some additional requirements from those people, and from maybe different countries. I don't know. So you can go very narrow with the niche, and this counts, for example, with the customer discovery or market research. Yeah, so you're able to do the market research more efficiently by using the AI tools, because you have all of this personalization features that AI gave you. Yeah.
So, for example, are you saying that we can, I don't know, for example, like a scrap, when you talk about market research, like a scrap, I don't know, social media, Reddit, etc., for, I don't know, like a feedback or some accumulate maybe problems? Or you're also saying about using this as a, like a sort of like a personalized assistant, so we can, like a, how to say, like a answer questions about the specific need of a specific person, like a provide him some kind of context so he can like answer as a specific persona, or maybe both, right? Because I can see that probably both cases could be like a real, right? True.
Yeah, I think that right now we are able to target like personas that in the past was like the market was too small for creating a product. So but today because this customer discovery is so easy that you can analyze, for example, the social media, Reddit, and so on, and find the problems, and you can also build the MVPs, the solutions for those people. So it's much easier to test the market and validate it, and it's, at the end, it's also much cheaper for creating a product for this small niches. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that first of all, like how to say, actually understands people's needs, because you can scrap specific, I don't know, for.
So maybe I give an example. So like for example, I also work on my different ideas, different products. So what I usually do, I just first of all, I have like a filter on X platform, so previously Twitter, which look for pain points that people have in for example, in the music industry or in other industries. And but then I also ask AI to give me like segment those pain points around, for example, AI adoption or similar topics. And I get this results like reports every day from real data from X platform. Yeah. And then what I can do, I can just import all of this data to tools like NotebookLM. NotebookLM is like a AI which is specialized in data retrieval and analysis, and then I can put a lot of different, for example, opinion from different social media, and just analyze this data in many different verticals. So I can ask about, okay, if there was a person that asked about this or that, or so you can play with the data in the way that it wasn't possible in the past. Yeah. So that's one of the.
Can I ask you the question here? Yeah. Because one thing that comes to my mind is already, is it possible, like how is it possible actually to extract this data from social media? Because, well, unless is it just like a open, so this like a how can you connect models or like retrieve the data from platforms like X and others to AI, right? I mean, it seems like
so for X I use Grok, so it's integrated with this platform. Yeah, and so this AI LLM, this AI tool has like a direct access, and it's also capable of real-time filtering the data. So it's really great. Yeah. So of course, other platforms are not so well maybe integrated. I remember there was a case that Reddit, for example, it blocks some data analysis from ChatGPT and similar tools, but I think that it changed. But yes, it really depends on the tool that you use. So I mean, by the tool, I mean which LLM AI model you use. Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's great. So you can actually find problems to solve, so build a product for. So so it's at least like we have a first stage. It's like we actually find the pains easily. And
but in the past it was possible, for example, to monitor the user activities or potential customer. Like there are tools like Google Alerts that you can set up like a keywords. Like, okay, I would like to get a notification every time that somebody is talking about something, but it was only like a keyword based, and then you can make like a big mistake if you didn't specify the keyword correctly. But today you can just in natural language you can ask, for example, send me notification or report every time a musician talk about a problem or any pain point, that she has. Yeah. So you can use very broad, like let's say filter, for the data, and then you get the results that are more accurate than it was before. Yeah.
Great. Well, I can understand that also if you have like other sources, like a secondary research, I don't know, report stuff, etc. You can also like import them to Notebook LM and actually ask them to like, hey, consolidate or find patterns, etc. So it's like also great if you have like a lot of data or like even scrap internet and actually then import it into like, I don't know, some kind of model or tool and find.
Yeah,
Right?
notebook LM is really special because, let's say that you import like many different opinions or website to this tool. And then you can ask it, okay, so please segment me the data by the, I don't know, some filter like maybe professionals or amateurs and so on. And then you can, for example, disable the sources that was in the analysis that are from the specific segment that you just specified by just talking to this AI. And then you can do like a more deeper analysis on the data that left. Yeah, so you can because it helps with the, let's say, hallucination. But the hallucination is because you have too many data, but you can ask AI first, limit the data to, I don't know, only the professionals, and then let's dig in this data more and ask more questions. Yeah. Of course, so Notebook LM is great if you like to have like a very granular and access to the data, and you like to really tweak everything. Yeah, but there are also other tools like can do this for you automatically. So everybody knows the tools like Deep Research from ChatGPT or Gemini. Yeah, so they use pretty much the same, but you don't have a control on how they do this. Yes, so you can just ask the question at the beginning, and then you just wait like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and you get the results.
As you know, actually, I did exactly like you said. I took Gemini Deep Research and imported into Google. Notebook LM. I was mind blown. I'm actually pretty skeptical about use of AI, and but this was actually like a mind blowing, and I can create like such a robust and actually very reliable research in literally hours, right? I read everything thoroughly, and I found no mistake. That was actually, well, obviously I have a discussion, ask them, hey, why didn't you include this company or this innovation, this product? I was just doing like a market research about a specific automotive audio segment, and he says, well, you mentioned that you want to have this and that, so he was able to defend, his in a very, let's say, logical way, his, like his choices, his or her choices. Yeah, so I was actually completely blown away.
Yeah, so I think that's also important to maybe mention that the result that you get from the AI analysis heavily depend on the requirements that you give to the AI. So how you specified the task. Yeah. So this is very, very important because it's like like garbage in, garbage out. So if you are not able to specify what is the input, what is the output, then also the result that you get will be just random. And I think this is something that still limit the usage of AI, and many people have an issue with that. Yeah, so
you're referring to like a prompt engineering, right? So like to having actually write prompts. That's what you're saying, or you also have something different in mind?
Yeah. In terms of prompts, the prompts are just the representation of what we would like to how the task should be accomplished. Yeah? So we just ask the question, but we can also give the instruction to the AI. So yes, so the quality of those instructions really help and give you the better the quality, of course, the better the final result. Yeah.
So can you I know we were actually to just jump into other different topics of or tasks of, or maybe let's leave prompts and context and stuff to a little bit later. so you don't jump between topics, because you actually nicely started by actually understanding the problem, doing research. So we actually I can see that we're just slowly moving across let's say product life cycle, right? So finding the problem. Then you already mentioned a little bit about the how to say prototyping, so actually a discovery. So you have a right problem, now you're trying to let's say prototype and validate the idea. And I understand then here you mean I don't know, Lovable and other tools that you can use to prototype with, right?
Yeah. So I okay. I'm not sure what's your maybe what's your opinion about this, so I can add something.
Well, I mean, I have a one big how to say doubt is that it's all great only for software tools, right? So I cannot see yet a prototyping with AI with it's just in the physical realm. I don't know, you want to build a microphone, another AI microphone, you set up new company, I don't know, hardware, synthesizer, whatever. It's actually it's all limited very much to the virtual space yet, yes, or intellectual tasks, so while I can definitely, I mean, I haven't yet prototype with Lovable or any other tool. We're actually thinking of doing this with my wife Daria, who actually as loves a UX and design, etc. So I'm actually we're just talking about making some experiments of our own to see what it can do. But actually I saw even Notebook LM has this a simple prototyping feature that you can create a report and say create me a landing page of it, and you can actually create a report with it's actually I was wow, no, that's nice. You can put a domain under it and actually give it to somebody. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So that's my a major point. That's all nice, but it's actually once again just for software people, right? No, nobody else.
I don't think that's only for software people, because the fast prototyping or the tools that you mentioned, like Lovable or similar, even the image generation. So these are tools that help, I think, product managers, but also entrepreneurs to show your vision to the team. So, for example, if you talk with the customer as a product manager, and you have some kind of vision of the product, yeah. So then you can, even if you are not the software engineer, so you can just ask those tools to prototype me a first version of the product. If this is software, then it can give you a mock-up of the software. And but even if this is a hardware, so you can always ask it to
render
to render the image, yeah, even a 3D image, because you can even ask it to run tools like Unity or Unreal Engine, and the tool can generate the 3D drawings and
turn it into some kind of parts, etc. Create a engineer. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I imagine it would be cool actually to create a render pictures and then turn it into some a manufacturable designs that you can import to some kind of PLM system, right, or something that would be pretty awesome.
But I think it's really important that as a product manager or entrepreneur, you have to delegate, for example, the vision of the product to the, let's say, I don't know, engineers, yeah, or external company. And you can, of course, write down all of the requirements, but at the end you give it only to the imagination of the second side, if they understood it correctly or not. But today you can actually prototype this product within 1 hour, and if you're lucky, then maybe this is the final product. But even if not, then you can just give almost ready product to the R&D team, and they can fix things like security and other things. But it's the prototyping is much faster, and even if you are not a software engineer, then you are able to use those tools, but just talking to tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and similar.
Yep. I understood. I was remember I was like joking that we can set up a new company that will actually create like a t-shirts and this is nice classes for vibe coders, right? It's like a vibe coders toolkit, right? Which is not only software tools but like a
Yeah, I think that the vibe coding is have a bad meaning because it's about low quality. That it's about somebody that in people's mind probably that you don't know what we are doing and just asking AI to correct itself, and you're in the loop. Yeah,
in the loop exactly. Yeah, I mean, because you mentioned something. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to so many directions. I need to sort of like park some of those questions to later. But you mentioned also like a security and stuff like this, and I can hear that there are some, even like on LinkedIn, I read some people say, hey, AI is great for prototyping, but it generates so much of a technical debt that will actually have so much cost actually fixing those problem later because it just makes such a crap. On the other hand, I can hear even from you, but I mean some from other people, or even like I heard about some very, very expensive tools that can do like a refactoring, code refactoring, you can manage the debt and actually fix issues. So what is like a current state in your opinion, and what will be the future? Will actually this be like a self-improving code, like and refactoring and modernization, or I mean, and currently I believe we still cannot like completely rely on AI, right? And a lot of like security, especially, and I don't know, like a user management stuff like this, it's still in the hands of engineers, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that okay, in my opinion, even right now, it's possible to write good quality code with AI tools, but it depends. So it's like a broad topic, so maybe I'll explain this. But the reality is that in the future, it's similar to the product management. Like AI maybe will not replace software engineers, but it multiply the skills of the software engineer like 10 times or maybe 100 times. So right now a lot of people use AI to write like tests, because this is something that you have to do, like if you are in the test-driven development, for example, mode, and this is like a less maybe I not say less important, but it's the requirement for the test is like a little bit lower than the architecture and the security itself. So the developers are okay to delegate that kind of stuff to the AI. But I think that the something that is really limiting, or maybe there is some misunderstanding between the software engineers that don't use the AI fully, is that it's not just the LLM that like you open the chat GPT and say, okay, write me an application. It's more about the quality of the prompt, because in prompt you have to define how the code should be written. So you have to define okay, what kind of, I don't know, design pattern we'll use, how to connect different blocks. So you have to so right now you have tools like Codex, Gemini, CLI, Cloud Code, and similar, and those tools actually they have embedded know-how within the prompts. So they have special dedicated prompts inside that improve the quality of the code. But this is also not yeah, it also depends heavily on the type of application that you like to write. If you are working with like a web development or languages like Python, so this is much easier. But if you're working like, I don't know, VST plugins, and you write this in C++, and so the challenge here is with the debugging. Yeah, because okay, one thing is to write the code and compile it, and the second is actually test it if it's run or not. And And for that, you need to use many different tools. You have to, for example, VST plugin, you have to, open in DAW. So you have to open DAW and so on. So, okay, of course, the other development tools that help with this process. But I think that right now, which is there is a lack of the surrounding tools, like help developers to debug and test the statically compiled code. Yeah, so maybe this is like the drawback that we have right now, but I think that this is just a matter of maybe like a year or something like this, that we will have tools that will totally replace most of the work. So at the end, the engineer will be more like a reviewer or
architect, or more like an architect. You still need.
Yeah, I think that the more it's like 10% you create an architecture, give it to AI, it implement it, and then you 80% do the AI, and then the last 10% you do reviewing the code. Yeah, of course this is in the loop. It also, yeah, probably in the iteration loop when you will check the results and so on. Mm-hmm. But this is like in my opinion, that's the future. Yeah. So
you have like 10 times more like effective teams, and you need to have like way smaller teams actually to build technology products. So I understand right now. So if we can find niches very easily and prototype very easily, and delivery is so easy. So that's, I understand right now this opinion that, we'll actually see like amazing wave of startups and companies, solving multiple problems, because it's just like everything becomes so easy. So where is the hard part, right? Because right now I can see that everything is easy, but entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship will become, I understand that still need to master these tools, right? And it's obviously like, it's easy as long as you learn, right? As long as you
I don't think it's okay. It's okay. Maybe it's not easy in the way that it depends. It depends how you work. Yeah, because in my opinion, AI is a little bit like spice. So it increase your skills, or maybe not increase, like show the skills that you have right now will be much increased in the I missed the word, and
I know what you mean. It's like a multiplier. So as
it's like a multiplier. You mentioned
like earlier that you have like 100 times. But if you have zero knowledge, so if you multiply 0 by something, you will still have 0. But if you have like a 10 or 20, it becomes 100 times more productive.
Yeah, I think that okay, maybe I don't want to talk a little bit to the developers, but it's about, I think, about the delegation. So if you are able to delegate tasks in real life, in the way that you delegate something to somebody and you get what you really expected, then you are probably also a good fit for AI. But if you are not able to delegate the task, and even if you're a software engineer, I don't know, product manager, whoever, then you'll have hard time with AI, because it's like okay, you get the result, and then
you need to show him the instruction and say, hey, you do this like, I sometimes, sorry, I'm just like interrupting you, but this was just such a revelation for me, like lately. I'm maybe like a slow learner, or like a little bit, like a skeptic, but I can see right now, and I'm just trying to say that generally, as you know, I'm pretty fast kind of ADHD person, so I have little patience, and sometimes even talk to people and I don't pay attention to describe things in a proper way. Mm-hmm. So I had like this very similar experience with AI at first. Of course, it's a lot of great ready to use prompts that are coming, being created everywhere. So that's one thing, but I just like learn how much things get better if I pay attention actually to explain it. And I simply like start to think, like you say, hey, so if I try to visualize myself teaching a junior employee and actually teaching, how to actually coach person on the job, and say, hey, first you do this, first you do this, first you do this, and and then that's and it just changed the game completely. Yeah, I'm just, as you know, like right now, just cannot spend the day without actually playing with those projects.
Yeah, I think it takes time to define what you like to achieve, and in the working environment, it's very often you prefer to talk to the real person or work with the real person, because that person already understand your processes, like team culture and so on. And AI, you have to first give the data about all of this, the whole context. Yeah. And if you are not able to create correctly the context for AI, so this is like the employee that, this is like
just like a new joiner to the company.
Yeah. That the first day and in the company, and you ask him to create something really hard and complex, and
then you're like, no, what did he do? It's like, no.
Yeah.
And then you give him a little bit of, like a context, etc. Yes. And slowly he actually understands all the written and non-verbal. Yes, I understand. Yeah. So, Tomek, if I can just make a small how to say, break, and just traditionally want to tell everybody who is I'm not sure what's going on. I just wanted to add the the screen and say to everybody who's listening that we obviously are on all the streaming platforms, so Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and others. Just simply type audio products podcast and you will find it. There is also a Discord server, so there is a community of audio product people, UX designers, entrepreneurs. Tomasz is there as well, so if you want to talk to him about AI later, that's also a great channel. You can meet him, and you can find it by just simply typing Audio Product Academy. The link to the server, to the Discord in the description of the episode. And finally, there is we have this small premium page, Buy Me a Coffee page, called Audio Podcast, and you can support the podcast by giving a small donation. But it's not really just a donation, because we publish some additional premium content, job posts, and some interesting tools, and also there will be a little bit more AI there, so for everybody's listening, thank you. And I really appreciate you giving us a little bit support, because as you know, the podcast is free and it will stay free, but we simply want to continue inviting great people. And so that will be a great help for us. And maybe one more thing that I will say, that Tomek will be hosting in the Audio Product Academy, will be hosting a course for a workshop, instructor-led course, AI for product managers. So we'll deep dive into the specific tools and prompts, and we'll actually just hands-on. There will be no a philosophy, etc. We'll just go deep into a building specific agents for or some kind of assistance, AI assistance for product managers. So also a link to the course. It's actually a one-day course. So I really would like to invite you already to check out, and especially as you know, Tomasz is a experienced entrepreneur, and he builds products that actually got NAM awards for the best in show. So he actually combines both practical knowledge as an entrepreneur and product person, audio product person, but on the other hand, he's deep into AI lately. So yeah, you will actually get both. I would say I want to say benefits of the both worlds, right? AI and entrepreneurship and product development. Yeah, so that's a small advertisement. Yeah, I can say it's worth, because as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, Tom is patient enough to also share his knowledge with me, and a lot of stuff I know and I use actually daily basis is actually taught by Tomek, so I mean, endorsed. I mean, honestly say it's worth checking out.
So maybe we can tell a little bit what will be the part of this course.
Yeah. I mean, I'm carry on, please. Probably it's better if it comes from you directly.
Yeah. So like in the daily work of the product manager or entrepreneur, so you have to do, like, on the one hand, you have to do like a creative stuff, like talk to customers, maybe, or think about new features. But on the other hand, you also have to do a lot of repetitive tasks, and most of those tasks you can easily describe. Okay, for example, how do you do the market research, how you find new ideas for products, and so on. And this is something that we would like to teach also, how to do this using AI. So what I can say that we would like to teach you, how to create like a system that will be working for you and act like assistant. And so maybe just give you like an example. So or maybe the easiest way to create that kind of a system is that for example, ChatGPT Cloud, you can create like a project, and you can type this project, I don't know, project management of my product, and then you can give a prompt that, okay, that act like a product manager, and whenever I will ask you about the market research, then follow these instructions, and if I ask you about I don't know, customer pain points, then follow this instructions, and so on. And what is important, you should give this instruction like in the separate files, and put it in the project, like in ChatGPT, like mentioned Claude. And so why it's important? Because when you create that kind of descriptions and also create like a manual for your AI assistant, then this AI assistant or agent will also follow directly your instructions in every chat inside this project. So this is important, because very often I see that people open a new chat, and then they're frustrated that they have to repeat some things, or maybe the quality is not good, and so on. So it's important to create like a systems, like a prompt that act like like a system that is able to follow the instruction that you give in advance. Yeah.
So actually, since I just wanted to make a small joke. So since actually we work together in one like a project, and in LAN ecosystem for a while. So I say, hey, create like a product coach based on the conversation with Tomek.
Really scary. So I really recommend to if you use AI a lot, then ask a question. Write me everything that is not obvious about me, and you'll be really surprised about the answer, because it's also really scary that the AI is it know a lot about you, and only about the conversations that you have with it.
Coming back to the point, so you're saying like creating this kind of context, right? We already discussed earlier a little bit this concept of context. So actually putting some, first thing that came to my mind, I'm not sure if I can say this, is like act as like Marty Kagan, right? One of the most popular product coach, and so I will actually this entire project, everything that's happening in this project will actually act as a product coach, like using all this knowledge that he shared, right? Globally, so he like play this kind of role or a persona, right?
Yeah. But I think that's also important to, if you define your system with AI and define the prompt, So also, like you mentioned, define the personas. So if you are doing if you need a strategic advice, then maybe you should define that your AI agent is like the product management coach with 20 years of experience, and that coach can do this, and this. So you can give the instruction to this, and then you also should create another personnel which can be like a business analyst, and this business analyst is like more operational that can do other stuff, like
you have an idea and translate it into a DRD, for example, like a very specific, like a technical specification for a feature, for example, right?
That's and then you can even have like a discussion between those agents, because you can give a prompt that
talk to this idiot.
No, first you can ask your coach, so what is the strategic vision for the next few months, and what we should do, and then it gives you like the strategic advice, and then you can delegate this, or even the agent can delegate the tasks to the like a business analyst or researchers or whoever you define in this prompt. So I think that this is really a powerful tool to constantly monitor the data, roadmaps, and other things.
So I can see that you can actually connect also like all tools, like your own OneDrive, even email, etc. So it will actually have access. You can actually even monitor probably later. Hey, can you just extract me? What kind of problems are coming through my emails, right, etc. You can probably make some really crazy analysis, right? And
so let's say if you are very simple example, that if you agree with marketing team that they will give you the updates every week, and they will put in a doc in a specific folder, and then you can also create automated task that your AI agent will read this document also every week and analyze the data according to the roadmaps that you have defined in the product roadmap. And then you even didn't read the report from marketing, but you already have all the good, bad stuff and the action points that you should do based on the data that you collect from different maybe departments, and it's just waiting for you.
So you have your private Marty Kagan who actually analyze your roadmap, takes your input from different teams, and actually say, these are pros and cons, and this is what you should be doing. And it's all automated. Yeah, I like it. That sounds great. So you are 10 times more productive. That's
maybe also one thing that from my experience, or maybe not only my experience, but it's part of there is a very good blog on the Anthropic website, developer of cloud AI. So it's very, very, very important to give the examples of how you communicate, what kind of data you would like to achieve, and maybe what kind of analysis the AI should do. So you shouldn't ask, for example, analyze the data. You are a product manager, analyze the data. But you should ask, here's a document that describes the strategic vision. Here is a document that describes, the roadmap, and we use the PM book methodology or PDMA and so on, and use this. So that's the more specific way how to work with AI and how to ask questions. So as I mentioned, garbage in, garbage out. So you have to be really, really specific about the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the power is really lies in the tools that you can connect to the AI models. So that you can it can read the data from many different sources, even from Notion, Jira, and other stuff. Yeah, so that's really really great thing.
Yeah. That's. I mean, honestly, I have to say that I think I passed certain how to say threshold, or if you will, or I don't know, some. I mean, it was very hard at first, but now that actually I managed to build my own projects, it's actually I think the fun and like a knowledge is just growing exponentially, if you know what I mean. So remember we discussed earlier that right now I can create new instructions with the existing projects. So initially I don't know where to start, but since actually like created my first project, created this kind of like a basic context, and actually use one of these prompts that you once shared. You remember this entrepreneurial prompt, and then I can do this, and I can analyze, so like my profile, what are my weak points, like a personality, and then actually what kind of models and methodologies I usually to follow, right? We always love to discuss, what are the methodologies we like Sensei versus PDMA versus Martikagan, etc. So I'm simply like teaching the model all these mind models that I have in, and usually I follow these patterns. But the fun thing is that actually I can just hey, so now turn it into instruction in MDA file and just upload it.
So that's also very very nice thing to say systemize things, because if you have a longer discussion with AI, then at the end of because you're working on something, I don't know, report or roadmap. So at the end of the discussion, you can just ask it, as you mentioned. So right now, we just create me a SOP, a manual how we did it, and then you can just write it in the file and add another instruction. Whenever we talk about the same task, use this prompt. Yeah, and this is really really efficient. And the other thing, you don't have to just actually look for prompts, everywhere. You can just ask AI to generate a prompt for you. So, for example,
you knew it, right? But I mean, to me, it's like a major, I'm just like, it's just like it's just like an ask, it's just like a self-improvement, right? I mean, slowly my model grows and my sort of system, I'm just becoming more and more efficient, and I don't have to write stories and hype on the internet. I simply have my own system behind the scenes that help me with this and that, and yeah, that's amazing. And actually, it can even create new stuff for me. That's wild. Listen, I just wanted to also, I mean, if I can just also make a small break. I mean, from time to time, to people who are watching this on YouTube, you can see there's QR codes in the corner. So it's like a QR codes to this Discord, and here actually currently to our Buy Me a Coffee page. So obviously they're in the links, but if you I don't know, if you like our discussion, you can just simply scan the code and get the link. So from time to time, I'm just changing those links. I'm not going to talk about them anymore. Simply that's so what they are. And yeah, so that's just one thing I wanted to say. And I just wonder, so is there anything else, you mentioned communication, so statuses, your product vision, and daily tasks, and yep. So what? So to summarize, so what will be the future product manager in this case? It would be I understand that the product manager will still be needed, right? And only their a role will, or I mean, their role will be even the same. The only a tool set will be different. It will be this statement.
Yeah, I think that's the only difference. It's we'll use different tools that multiply our possibilities that we can do. So actually right now, but in the very very near future, so we'll use or single product manager will handle many products at the same time, but it doesn't mean that you will do more work. It's it will act more like managing many different people, probably. Yeah? So that's the one thing. And yeah, so that, in my opinion, so the product management, but not only, but probably most of the jobs that we have today, we look in this way, that you will have to learn how to multiply your skills and how to communicate with AI in the way that you're able to analyze and synthesize data later on. Yeah? So because you have data from many different sources, and
so learn to actually communicate your thing, your mind. I mean, sorry to just interrupt you again, but I mean, that's actually comes to my mind. I mean, the major thing, people who will be able to explain their needs and their wants and their context in a concise and clear way will actually have much bigger advantage, because they can delegate it to AI, right? And if you have just a cloud of thoughts and you don't know really what you want, or you're impatient, that's actually like a major showstopper, right? And you will actually in this a circle of vibe coding, right?
Yeah, in terms of the vibe coding, so I think that one of the very useful pattern when you work with the AI is to have another AI agent that review the work of the previous AI agent. But in reality we work the same way. If you work in the Scrum environment, so you have the review task column, and there is somebody that review your task.
But Tomek, you mentioned, actually, you see, I would just completely forgot about it, and actually you brought it to my mind again. So what will actually happen with relations? Because right now, well, I mean, like work relations, right? I mean, don't talk about, general a relation in the world. Obviously, there are some worse things than AI, like social media, that can deteriorate. I mean, interestingly, make connections and still sort of deteriorate the, quality of those relations. But I mean, the Scrum team, I mean, remember we discussed this before the podcast, that the idea of a Scrum team is that actually people are in the old world before COVID and stuff, they were just working together. So there is this a close collaboration, and people sort of challenge each other. And right, are you not afraid that people will actually prefer to talk to AI rather than talk to real people? And will this not destroy the, let's say, culture of the every organization need to have a culture, right? And certain a feeling of belonging, common vision. And still people will just gravitate towards AI, which sometimes is easier because it will flatter you, and it's obviously harder to talk to a person because people have this emotional aspect yet, right? And AI, you can always close it down, right? So what do you think you'll happen to a work culture because of AI and relations in work?
So actually, if I will be in charge of the company that is almost 99% automated with AI, so I probably treat AI. Maybe first of all, I will create a team of people for sure. So in many companies, probably it's like this high-level manager, or but actually you can also do the same in the startup, that you have person from marketing, product management, sales, and so on. And those people should have to communicate, but then they will have AI teams or AI assistants that will help them do the work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So even today, if you have a company, so you have like a CMO, like chief marketing officer, and that person actually delegate the tasks to the team, and the team can be like AI agents. And but on the higher level, there should be always like a team of people. So, but because this is, as I mentioned, it's really important to build the company culture. Yeah. Of course, at the end, if you are building the company, then you have to create processes for everything. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if this is possible to fully automate like the everything, like to have the fully automated company, maybe. Yeah, but
And sell it to agents who have automated companies selling stuff to AI agents, listening music like AI music that is actually listened by AI bots. And what will we do, right? At this,
yeah,
it's like, students actually doing exercises at home using AI. So then actually we will actually have AI teachers, and people will like pretend to go to schools, and teachers will pretend, to. And people simply, I don't know, lie on the beach and
if the AI agent at the end is able to pay for the product, so actually this is a customer, yeah. So maybe there will be another role in the future that product manager that sell product to AI agents. But it sounds scary.
like Hair, remember the movie, right?
Yeah.
We'll just like it will just be forgotten, and that's scary. But is this like this episode is very much like price for AI? I mean, do you see, like, I don't know, and I'm not speaking about specific like a use case of technology, but like a scary things about or like some of the downsides of like, for example, I don't know, security, and you mentioned that AI knows, all these AI companies know so much about us, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that the challenge is that we start thinking about the deliverables of AI like black boxes. That the more we work with AI, then we assume that the work that is done by AI is good quality, and this is some. But I think that the same with people, but especially with AI. It pretends to be really, really smart, and I think that this is a challenge, that you have to constantly monitor the quality and actually what is inside the, like, I don't know, the product that it builds, like, I know, the source code or whatever. Yeah, I think that's the challenge. Yeah, and the challenge is like maybe in like 50 years that if everything will be done by AI, so we'll not have like a domain experts, and the only domain expert will be another AI. So who will control the AI in the end? Yeah,
Foundation.
Yeah,
foundations. Yep. So like you mentioned like a quality of AI. So maybe we can clearly see that some others are good for one thing and some others for others. So you actually play, I know, with a lot of those. And so what is your like a take if you would just like say, hey, use this for that, Claude for this, I don't know, Gemini is good for that, can you like
okay, so you are going very technical. So yeah, so I think that the ChatGPT, for example, is really good at analysis. So if you have a data and you like to analyze something, then it's nice. But it's okay within, let's say, single, let's say, even not session, but the single conversation, single chat. ChatGPT in theory have like a huge context, like Gemini, but in practice, it's very often doesn't follow your history of the conversation. So that's my experience. And very different stories about Gemini. Gemini is really good at following the long conversations with a lot of data, and even if you change topics several times, then it's really correctly. So if you need like a coach, so probably Gemini is better. But if you like to analyze data, then probably the ChatGPT is better. We have also Cloud Code, which I don't know, maybe it's something in the middle, but I think that's really nice in following the instruction. Yeah. I don't know if in terms of following the instructions. So recently we have an update of ChatGPT 5.1, where they updated it because it didn't follow the instruction. For example, if you ask it to answer without hyphens, then it cannot answer without the hyphens. So it was really crazy. And so they make an update, 5.1 that, it better follow the instruction. Yeah? So
we maybe should have 2-3 models and actually one code another, right?
Yeah. But also Cloud Code, for example, is really great and tool usage. So like external tools that like use MCP for connecting to other stuff and so on. And then we also have like a lot of different open source models. Yeah, so this is really interesting because open source models are not only the huge ones like similar to ChatGPT, but also the smaller ones that you can run locally, and they are great, for example, for translating or even there's dedicated language models that focus only on code debugging. Yeah, reading the error messages and so on. So that they are specifically trained only for this task. So this is it really depends on at the end. I have to say that the tool really depends on the task that the LLM really depends on the task that you like to achieve. And in my opinion, it's good to test at least like a few of them. And compare the results, because this is also changing over time.
Yeah, gotcha. Tomasz, so how would you like advise? I know we just this is podcast. We have just like a light conversation. We won't actually go here at least into technical details. But if you were to advise, and I can actually say from my latest experience, but I mean you have some way larger experience. I mean bigger experience. So how to integrate AI into somebody's listening, and how to start, and how to start integrating this slowly into like a daily routine, so it really delivers value. No hype, but just like a leverage.
But are we talking about the
product? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that the first step is really you have to create a project which is dedicated to area of your work, and inside the project give the instruction that the description, what is the project about.
Project, yes, what is
yeah, and then just create like a few files, or even ask AI to create those prompts for you. That you have to create different roles, like create like a business analyst, create like a product or market research analyst, and so on. And this is really important, and you can later on tweak those prompts and files based on your conversation with AI. You can even ask AI, according to our previous conversations, what will you change in the instructions that I gave you, and so I think that that's the start. So just starting from something very, very small, like in everything. But I think that's important to build a system. Build a system, because if you build a system and create the prompts on the project level, then you don't have to repeat yourself, and you don't frustrate yourself because the AI don't follow your instruction once again.
Yep. So you also mentioned processes, and actually delegating. So being able to somehow describe and build processes, and operational instructions, and so I understand that you can simply slowly delegate or build system and automate tasks, right? You mentioned, right? And try to read this and actually provide me analysis about that. So that's another stage. And you also something I mentioned, MCP. So would you be able to tell a little bit about this? To those who are just a little bit beginners into the subject.
Okay, so that's one of the technologies that are around the AI space and LLMs. So basically, this is the model context protocol, and this is the way how LLMs can communicate with external tools using the natural language. So the MCP protocol defines the client-server architecture, and so LLM can ask like in the regular language, like add new row to Notion table, yeah, and then on the server side, this question is or the request is translated to the API. And also the server MCP server has its own prompts, context, memory, and yeah. So basically, but in very simple words, so this is like if you like to connect LLM to your favorite tool, so probably you have to look for the MCP that do this. Yeah.
But is this like a built-in? So like, are those integrations, for example, in GPT that you can see connect your, I don't know, like your Outlook or your Jira, etc. So is this just based on MCP, or this is something else, like a?
No, it depends on the product. Yeah, in Cloud Code, everything is in Cloud AI is everything connected through MCP because they are developed this protocol and promoted. In Gemini and in ChatGPT is a little bit different, so they have their own integrations. But in ChatGPT, for example, there is something like developer mode, and you can enable it, and then you can also use MCP servers. Yeah.
That's just control from your panel. Now we just like a neat, like a how to say, like a. I know you can already like talk to it, but I mean just so you can. But make it so like a natural that you can have like a, like a Iron Man's. What was this? Jarvis, right?
Yeah.
Jarvis. Yeah, that's it. That's mind blowing. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's quite a lot of stuff we covered.
So are you still skeptic about AI, or start evangelize AI in your work environment?
You see, there is actually like how to say that? There are a few things. One thing is that obviously I hate, bureaucracy as hell, so whenever I can, I don't want to make manual tasks, and I love actually spending time playing music, etc. So this will not go away, right? And for this, actually, I find AI as a simply like another way of, automating and making life simpler. Obviously, an audio and music business context, it just like give me certain how to say. I have some doubts because especially in cultural sector, like the let's say activity itself is a value, right? So we don't want this to be automated or because this is playing the instruments for me is just like essential, so honestly I really don't understand. I understand obviously they have different value, like I don't know, Suno and Udio, etc. All these models that can, let's say, AI music and stuff like this. So I mean, I have certain doubts because I say, well, it's just why to automate something which is a pleasure in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. Then actually somebody else tell me, hey, but you can actually look at from the perspective that somebody can maybe for the first time prompt the music and actually like the creative process that much that it will actually start learning, like the instrument. So so it can have benefits, but I mean, if used wisely, so for the personal use, I'm actually right now, maybe not in hype, but I mean, super excited. And I actually spend a lot of time playing with my projects now that I know how to do it. In larger context of culture and creativity, I'm a bit worried because I'm just worried that people listen, fewer and fewer people I would like to, read a book or learn an instrument. And it's actually good for our brain as even for brain, right? I mean, that playing instruments can, prevent from, I don't know, some, how to say, this disease, that elderly people face, I don't know, like Alzheimer's and right and Parkinson, etc. So I mean, it's not just good fun as a but it's also like a good for us. There is some research that indicating that using AI can I know it's previously like on smaller sample, so we may probably not be able to make a generalize it that this is just like a disaster. I'm not sure, probably you read, I mean, it was MIT's right research that people who use like a lot of AI, or actually their brain is actually, I don't know, deteriorating, Tomek. So we are just like in 2 years when we meet, we'll be like.
Yeah, the challenge is that we rely too much on this, yeah, because the AI looks or sounds too smart, yeah, and I heard this even from lawyers that that it looks like a really good answer, yeah, but then you start digging and okay, maybe not so much. So that's why I was saying that and also this is like a proof for that the AI is better at reviewing than creating in terms of text. So this is like that's why it's really good to create like a AI agent that will review the work that you do, yeah? Or maybe just paste the answer from one window to another and ask, okay, you are the reviewer of something and tell me if this is good or not, or if there are any mistakes or hallucinations or whatever.
Yep, exactly. I just wanted to remind everyone again, listening, that you can just like find Audio Products podcast on all these streaming platforms, and you can join our Discord, Audio Product Academy, and you can find the link in the description, and obviously the buy me a coffee page, like a small donation, won't hurt us, and obviously you can find a lot of like interesting content there too. So just like for everyone, to remember. So thank you very much for that, guys. And yeah, I mean, I'm just coming back to the original point. I mean, I just learned. I mean, I was initially also like frustrated, but when I just like even write some really shitty content and I just give it to AI, I can see that it really makes magic. As long as like the original thought comes from me, it's just like it's correct. I mean, the corrected file is actually mind blowing. But I mean, it's like remember we did some projects together, but even I mean, I don't even pay attention neither to grammar for nothing. Just like I need like a thought process that I have, and just improve it. I don't even if anything, it just like improve it, and it's just amazing for marketing, for some like analytical content, etc. It's amazing. Yeah, you asked me a question about what I think right now. Am I like already like a enthusiast? So like I would say yes, but one last thing, and you mentioned this already, that people are just rely too much on it, and this is something that again that worries me a bit, because yeah. I mean, it's just like with this, some people who prefer to talk to AI rather than to normal, to human beings, because obviously human relations are, a bit complicated. And, we know that if you know somebody well enough, it's always an tension. It's just like in the marriage, right? In the relation, if you know somebody very well, but
I think that we have to make barriers, borders between AI, which is still like in my opinion the technology. This is not an AGI, and at the end we have to think about that. Okay, it's a great tool, but this is just a tool. And you have to review and you the task that it do, and you also have to make a good instructions that it follows, because actually a lot depends on you. This is not like a magic wand that you do everything
absolutely. So in this case, I'm already a big fan, right? I mean, I use a lot, but once again, I mean, having the experience with social media and being addicted to LinkedIn and other crap, to me, it's I'm just a little bit worried that people, I mean, it's obviously like everybody's choice, but it's very easy to get addicted, like you say, because it sounds so real, and so it's just so magic that a lot of people will actually, it may be like in Japan, like these kids who, like play on the, games so much that they need to get to the, like a therapy. But again, it's just, I mean, a different topic. Obviously, we're just going away from product management and business, but I mean, if you ask, that's my opinion. So like a mixed feelings, so like what you mentioned in the beginning, scared and and excited at the same time. Yeah. All right, Tomek. I mean, I think we just covered pretty much like everything wanted to cover. Not sure if anything else you want to add maybe at the end.
I think that you wanted to say something about the training, yeah?
Yeah, well, yes. Again, I would like to warmly invite you to the a training with Tomasz. You can see it in the link in the description. It's like a online session, so you can join from anywhere in the world, and we'll actually, not we, Tomasz will teach you exactly. We'll just build the project from scratch, build the context. We'll just build instructions specifically for a product management work. So whether you are a product manager, product director, or somebody works on the product team that is involved in building the product. If you're an entrepreneur, so for example, you're still involved in building the products in your company, this will help too. And so we'd like to warmly invite you to the session. Yep, and that's it. Yeah. There will be more, right? There will be more content on this one, on this topic on the podcast, I'm sure. And Tomek, I'm super grateful. Like I say, it's been a long time since we last spoke on the podcast. You were the first guest, so it was very nice to to have you again. And thank you to the listeners.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you liked it. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and of course on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to it and hit the bell, because we publish a lot of interesting videos there, not just the episodes. You can also become a supporter and get premium content like additional reading, unpublished videos on our Buy Me a Coffee page, linked in the description of this episode. See you in the next one. Yo.